brand new full-length studio album from Billy the Fridge, God Complex, available on Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere. Swear to God, oh my God, got a God Complex. God Complex.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
I gotta get a witness. No!
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
That's true.
Sometimes I cry.
Lick my butthole, he laughed.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken Peasants.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Drunken Peasants Podcast. It's a special presentation on a Friday. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're here to deliver you some amazing content. As usual, we would ask that you please like the stream, and if you're feeling generous, I ask of you if you would please click the link that's pinned at the top of the chat, give us $5 and watch our private show that we're doing after tonight's pre-show that we're doing right here.
Actual Mania.
Yes, Actual Mania. Actual Mania. I'll tell you what, for those of you who have never seen it, it is very entertaining because people get creative and they make these kind of wild videos in order to one-up each other and gain the votes of the viewing public. Tonight we have our main event. We got Captain Kool-Aids versus Party Tub. Captain Kool-Aids is our champ. Party Tub's getting a non-title shot tonight. So that should be interesting.
Both of these guys are masked up. They are, they're not going to show their face, but one of them will show their ass when they lose.
Maybe.
When they lose.
Yeah. So, we're going to check out some King Cobra reaction stuff, courtesy of Boglum Reacts. But first, we got to play the intro. Here it is.
Somewhere in the world today, men have got to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. Stand up.
It's amazing.
Stand up.
It's amazing.
Stand up.
And we'll go over the actual Mania card and everything in a moment after we're done watching this video. And if for those of you who don't notice, we're putting the emphasis on the Patreon. So if you're the kind of person that normally throws us a couple bucks, sign up for Patreon. If you're already there, up your pledge, create a sock account, and make 2 Patreon accounts. That way you get 2 votes. You can rig tonight's voting for Actual Mania. I don't care. We need your support. The Patreon is suffering, and we need your support. Part of it was Riley went to jail. Riley was one of our big patrons, and he went to jail. And now he had all these legal fees, so he had to pull his patronage. So I beg of you, if
July ruins everything.
I beg of you. Yeah. Stick it to Eric July by signing up for our Patreon. He cost us quite a bit of money per month. So, here's King Cobra reacting to Blaire White's video where she went to a pride march in Texas. It was in Austin, I believe, so it was still pretty, liberal, even though it was in Texas. Here it is.
What up, YouTube?
Oh man, he's taking after Jared. Okay, we need to Photoshop shirtless Cobra and shirtless Jared together. Is there a shirtless Cyrax picture too? Oh, I bet there is. Probably leaked from DMs.
Blaire White got kicked out of a Pride event about 3 weeks ago for asking questions.
I mean, she tries to get kicked out, right? That's part of the shtick, right? She's like hoping she'll get kicked out.
I don't know if she actually got kicked out, did she?
I don't know.
Being harassed?
Well, I think she was being followed. I think she was made to feel unwelcome, which fits her narrative and makes everyone happy.
Spoiler alert, we're going to deal with some very hot topic issues. I want to keep my opinion short, sweet, and brief and to the point. But let the cringe commence.
Honey, there are as many genders
7 foot tall
as stars in the sky.
Nope.
What do you think is the earliest age that someone can start receiving puberty blockers, hormones?
As soon as they can vocalize that they want breakfast for dinner.
Now you're just being a stalker, sir.
Hold up. I wouldn't let my kids dictate whether or not they get breakfast for dinner. Like, if they're like, I want breakfast for dinner. No, you're going to eat what I make you.
Yeah, no choices. No, there's not a menu here. There's one food option available.
I don't care if they take hormones and change their gender at 3 years old, but they're not going to tell me they get pancakes when I'm cooking steak.
Now you're just stalking.
Are you stalking a trans woman?
Stalker or no stalking?
I think minors should be allowed to go on puberty blockers.
Nope.
You're fake.
I felt what?
You're fake.
I'm fake?
You're fake.
You're gonna be on.
Why are they so mad? Jesus. Hi, today we're infiltrating Pride in Austin, Texas, and I'm a little scared. I'm a little scarred from the last one I did in Hollywood. How many genders are there?
I like how they're covering this person in a bikini top with Cobra, so it kind of creates an illusion that Cobra is wearing a bikini top, and that he's kind of ripped too.
Yeah, that might be Cobra. We don't know what's underneath.
Maybe Texas is going to be a better representation of the community than Hollywood. Let's see. The only thing is, I feel like I'm probably too sober for this, so we need to get shots first because I'm getting anxiety. So we decided just to...
Why does she have to plug her nose when she does shots?
Not make people...
She can't handle the taste of liquor, maybe?
I feel like we're coming in hostile. Put rainbow tape on the mic, but I feel like it just looks like a dildo. Hi, what's your name?
My name is Mattheus.
Oh my god, do you want to be the first interview of the day?
I do. Oh my
Let's do it. Oh my gosh.
I've heard my partner follows you on your social medias. He talks about you a lot.
Oh my gosh.
I know you be shaking waves. I know you make waves.
A little bit. How many genders are there?
She be shaking waves.
How many genders are there?
How to piss off conservatives and the libtards at the same time. There are only 2 genders and God created LGBTQ+.
There you go, starting off with this question. Now, I'm going to say...
If you want to be polite about it, we'll say that there are 4 genders. Male, female, trans, hermaphrodites, /other.
Now he's already more than 4.
Yeah.
/other could be so many.
Please like the stream if you haven't already.
And a
Thank
lot of people are getting sick and tired of all the political bullshit with LGB and what have you. And it's because they're choosing to focus on all the nut jobs and the intolerant assholes and the sickos and the weirdos and the hypocrites and all that shit. And it just gives LGBTQ+ a bad name. And YouTube, if I may be so bold while I sip on my Bush Peach, you can celebrate Pride without exposing yourselves to kids, you creepy bastards. Nobody wants to see your private parts.
I mean, some people want to see them.
My heterosexual ass,
not nobody,
sort of walk down the street screaming straight sister.
And honestly, I remember being a kid, being at the pool, and there was always some weird dudes walking around the pool with their dicks out in the changing room of the pool, the public pool. We always saw dicks everywhere. It didn't matter if it was gay pride or not. Dicks were around. It was creepy. Kids see them, they're like, ugh.
Deprived with my dick and my ass hanging out. My ass would be thrown in jail for indecent exposure.
Depends on where you are when you do it. If you're in Casper, Wyoming, yes.
Fuck out of here. And I'm not trying to be a dick, YouTube, because when I do these kinds of video responses, they come off as kind of phobic, and it's like, I'm not trying to pick on the rainbow crowd here, you know what I'm saying? But no one's gonna take you fucking seriously if you can't, like, figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, ugh. I've had to redo this goddamn video response I don't know how many fucking times, and I'm getting exhausted of doing it because it's just watching the decay of
Cobra
society.
out here copying Shabisky's arguments.
It's funny, yeah.
Yeah.
Shabisky.
What the hell, man?
Shabisky took this big like stand about like how they should regulate the San Francisco Pride March. It's like that of all the Pride marches, you're gonna see some dick, you're gonna see some naked people. If you don't like it, don't go. Don't bring your kids. Like you're not gonna change it. Like, and they're not gonna like pass all these laws to change it like you think they should. It's not gonna happen.
I think nudity should be allowed, but everybody who goes nude has to be a part of a database. And it's not like a predator database. It's a database where we rate whether or not you're like in the top 20 to 30% of beautiful penises or beautiful boobs or beautiful vagina. And if you're below the top 30%, keep it tucked away. If you're in the 30% hotter, I think that's fair. As long as you're like the top 30% of hotness.
I mean, in Las Vegas, which Shabisky doesn't live in Las Vegas, but he lives pretty close to it. There's like, you walk down the street and you'll see girls like wearing thongs and like nipple pasties, and that's it. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
That is nasty.
Okay.
It's like, I need a beer. How to piss off conservatives and the libtards. There are only two genders, and God created LGBTQ+. Like, we'll just play the fucking video, puff on the tobacco, and sip on the peach bush.
Hell yeah.
And this is no hate.
You can tell Cobra's heterosexual because he drinks bush peach. Gays drink bush eggplant.
Hatred towards LGBTQIA elemental P+. This is not me.
Ooh, elemental P.
I am a straight ally to a point.
Elemental P.
But when these people can't define what gender is or how many genders there are, and then they get offended because we don't respect their gender pronouns, it's exhausting. It is mentally and physically exhausting. Because now you got fuckers out there who identify as cats. They identify as a goddamn lamp.
Okay, well, they can identify that way. That doesn't mean I have to agree that they are. Like, I'm not going to be like, yeah, you're a cat. But if you want to call yourself a cat, be a cat.
I think it's awesome that they do, because then I know that I can't take them seriously. Not that I take anybody ever seriously at all, but it's like, at least I know what type of weirdo you are. Good job, meow.
Let me just interview the lamp in my computer room real quick. Excuse me, lamp.
Hey, you know, Scott always told me he was a tiger, and I said, tigers eat fish. Let me see you eat fish, and he refused to do it.
Lamp? Yes, you right there in the background. That thing right there with the fake parrot on the back of it. Excuse me, lamp. What's your gender?
I'm glad he said it was a fake parrot. He's a pirate, obviously. He's got a parrot on his shoulder.
Oh, the lamp didn't say anything. Shocker, because it's an inanimate object.
Biologically, we got
just be
male
shy.
and female. Hormonally,
Okay, this dude right, Matheos is his name, I think. He's one of the more logical ones here, but the rest of these clowns are just on another fucking level. And at some point, you're going to be hearing me say this. Jokingly, of course, but put down the crack pipe.
One time, the last time I was up in Canada, Adam and I went out to this dinner. It was like a multiple course dinner, and they served us this fish. And when I saw Scott, I told him about it and how good it was. And he was like, you can file that under who gives a fuck.
it creates so much variation.
How do you feel about gender affirming care being banned here in Texas? So it's like a big thing happening right now for minors.
I think everybody has the rights to gender affirming healthcare regardless of your age.
How do you
I
guys...
would disagree. If your child is not old enough to drink alcohol, smoke tobacco, watch inappropriate adult-themed movies, fight for your country, get tattoos, do drugs, etc.
Oh my God.
Then they're not old
All the
enough
fun
to transition.
How do you guys feel about trans women and women's
Yeah,
sports?
but the one thing about starting younger on transition is that when you're like 19, 20, you're way hotter if you've been taking hormones since you were a little kid. Because if you're 19, 20, you just started taking hormones, you're going to have like linebacker shoulders. That's not hot.
Oh, God. So all Blaire White is doing is going around asking these gotcha questions, and the snowflakes are strong with these people. Kellogg's Frosted Snowflakes, they're offended. How do I feel about trans women in sports? I think we should give trans women their own leagues instead of allowing them to compete alongside biological women, because it's incredibly unfair to have these dudes who have benefited from testosterone their entire life, and they get just a little bit of estrogen, and now they're just beating the shit out of their fellow women. And if you call it out for
Not
what it
only
is,
should there be a trans league for sports, male to female and female to male trans should be able to compete in that league. That would be interesting.
you get labeled a bigot. It's like, bruh. Like, women have had to fight for equality from men since before the 1960s with the right to vote, women's suffrage, etc. So it's kind of unfair that women who are now fighting for their own sports leagues are now being forced to compete against trans-altered women.
That's not really happening, by the way. It's happening at the college level. I don't believe there's any trans players like in the WNBA or anything like that. And the one prominent college trans swimmer tried to compete in the Olympics, and they denied her entry into the Olympics. So it's not as big of a problem as people make it out to be. It's barely happening at all. So
it's not fair. Would you allow baseball players to compete on steroids? Fuck no.
We did.
But you can't just say, well, we're not going to let you compete because that's not fair to them, so they, thems, whatever. So give trans people their own sports leagues. That way it's an equal playing field for both trans women and cis women. Although if you don't prefer the term cisgendered, maybe you prefer the term birthing gender or biologically gendered. But if you misgender a biologically gendered person, nobody gives a shit. Yay for inclusivity and equality. No.
Honest Red in the fan chat asked, what sport has Cobra ever competed in?
He wrestled.
Quidditch.
But he, jokes aside, he did actually wrestle. That's part of his his character biography from all the bite-sized Cobra documentaries I watched. He wrestled in high school, but he quit. I'm sorry, don't let me interrupt you, Billy. Go ahead.
Funny enough, wrestling is the one where it's actually intergender. Go on, Ben.
Sometimes it is.
Highly debated topic.
They're women. They're women. Let them be in women's sports. It's not like...
Are they, though? You might call me a dick for saying this, but, like, if you have to validate through a society, if you have to rely on someone else's validation...
He said that he quit wrestling because it was too gay, but it's like, if you're wrestling and you're feeling like it's gay, it's because you're attracted to whoever you're wrestling.
And don't you get disqualified for getting a boner anyways?
I think that's like an urban legend or something, but who knows? I don't know. I wrestled in middle school and like when I first started high school, and I don't remember that happening, but I don't remember being like, oh, that person has a boner either. So
validate your gender. Are you really the gender you assigned yourself? And
wrestling can hurt. Like actually like grappling with someone like that, it can take the wind out of you. You can get slammed down on the ground. It's not soft at all. Yeah. It's painful.
Be fair. Humans are looking for validation. It's just human psychology 101.
Even Leah Thomas.
Huh?
Even Leah Thomas's big ass.
I don't know that. I don't know people. Just like...
I don't know people.
Was that
what
Michael Phelps?
Because the earliest age that someone can start receiving gender affirming care.
This bitch that's about to answer Blaire White's question is just...
He didn't quit wrestling for calling it gay. He quit wrestling because he said it made him feel gay, which I think is him and not the wrestling. If the act of wrestling is making you feel gay, then you might be gay. I don't know. Like,
holy shit, chef's kiss, stupid.
Whether it's puberty blockers, hormones.
As soon as they can vocalize that they want breakfast for dinner.
Nope. So according to that person, Blaire White asks the question. She's one of the most hated trans people in her own community. Hypocrisy's a bitch, but Blaire White asked the question. She goes, so how young should a person be? And here's my take on it. I think puberty blockers should be banned. And if you want a safer transition, you don't want to contract cancer, then you need to be allowed to hit puberty as the gender you're assigned, and then once you're a legal adult, you're 21 and up, you can buy alcohol, you can buy tobacco, you can buy a firearm, you should be, you know what I'm saying? But according to that person, as soon as they can vocalize they want breakfast for dinner, dumb as shit. So like, yeah, your kid vocalizes they want cigarettes, you're gonna buy it for them? Piss off.
You would have. I feel like
his kid smokes.
I feel like Cobra would break the cisgender rule with Blaire White.
I mean, everybody should. If not, you're a transphobe. If you wouldn't slam Blaire White, you're a transphobe.
Oh, is that how it works?
I think so, yeah.
She's definitely better than Jessica in like every way imaginable.
Oh, yeah. She's probably got a bigger dick, too.
Definitely.
Security guard following us the around, like hard. How do you feel about gender affirming care for
guy is awesome.
minors being banned here in Texas? Hot topic right now.
I went back and watched the DP episode that Blaire was on. It was like 6 years ago, something like that. Her face looks totally different. Completely different.
She's had a ton of work.
A ton of work.
She's lost a lot of body weight, too. Like, she's got more of a slender build. I think. I don't know if that comes from estrogen or surgery or working out or what, but
it's probably all of the above.
Now that's what's happening.
Dieting.
Being banned, honestly, I feel like it's banned in Texas, but they honestly need to be focusing on way more stuff before.
I agree, like, instead of being, like, creepily obsessed with transitioning kids, gross, disgusting, people who are not mature enough to make their own decision, what about giving children access to food? Like, it is what it is. There are some kids who can't afford to eat school lunches, and then they have gym class right after lunch. They have no energy to perform, and it hurts their grades and their cognitive thinking, but these woke libtards are more obsessed with this crap, and it makes me want to smoke and drink YouTube.
Or that. That's my
Cobes,
opinion.
what
I
if we
feel
can
like
give them hormones and fruit snacks? Huh?
Yeah.
Why one or the other?
Hormones.
Leave it to your parents. Honestly, leave it to your parents at this point, and for the Texas government.
Thank you, YouTube. I do not believe in the government telling us how to raise our demon spawn, if you catch my drift.
Man, we got other to worry about.
What do you think we should worry about before that?
I think we should worry about, let's see, homelessness, housing.
You said it, my dude.
Getting housing for people who are homeless, because you drive around Austin, you see empty.
I'm so grateful for this new space, YouTube, that I have. You have no idea, but like, you see all these abandoned houses, abandoned buildings.
If I saw Cobra around here walking around, I would think he was homeless if I didn't know who he was, just by like the way he dresses. Yeah.
It's all
he dresses like a homeless person.
For the country.
Probably because he wears the same clothing every day for like over a month.
He's halfway in between like homeless and then just like a Capitol Hill punk looking person. So like,
dude.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be 100% sure, but I would assume.
Yeah.
All these abandoned houses and buildings that could be repurposed into low-income housing. If all these Hollywood celebrities, loose air quotes, were to donate $1 million, A-list celebrities donating $1 million of their paycheck, altogether, collectively, as a bunch of celebrities doing it, you could end homelessness in Los Angeles.
Fuck celebrities. What about the multi-billionaires? They should donate multiple millions of dollars.
The reality is,
if every billionaire that had more than $100 billion donated $1 billion, it would be more than every A-list celebrity donating $1 million.
Yeah, it's not even like being a multimillionaire. Like you got $10 million. That's a lot of money, but you're not even close to near the top of the heap with that.
some of these people don't want to change or don't want help.
Empty buildings. It's like people can be living in those buildings.
It's like Iraq.
It's like Iraq. Yeah, it's getting very.
It's like Iraq realness.
Jesus Christ.
Or like Iran. Can dogs be gay? That's a yes. Can they be trans? She said, fuck no. What is like the youngest age you think someone should be able to medically transition?
So these two can play in the trans basketball league?
Well, I don't think the drag queen counts as trans, right? Those are usually just men that
sometimes they
women.
are. Sometimes they are. It's all up in the air. And then I think there was like a cis woman drag queen recently that embarrassed Marjorie Taylor Greene. Yeah, so I don't know. This person could be trans for all I know.
Yeah, I know some trans drag queens too.
Yeah.
So it's like there are some, but I thought the majority were men.
A lot of drag queens are gay men. Yeah.
I can tell you.
18 or older.
I don't think there's a specific age that anybody just comes into their trans identity. I don't have an age for you. I mean,
I just want to see Blaire go up for the layup and then the super tall drag queen to like reject, like stuff it, slap that shit down.
Yeah, they're like that. What's that tag team name Shawn Michaels and Diesel were? They're like two dudes with attitudes.
As an AMAB person assigned male at birth, like, what did we go through puberty at, like 13?
I think so.
I'm like, anytime around that age, I feel like whenever these kids are coming into their own identity, it should be a conversation that we could have and not be so quick to say, oh, nope, they're too young. They don't know what they're talking about.
They don't. Kids are stupid. They don't know shit about the world. You're so quick to dismiss that, but it's like, okay, well, what if your kid came out as a cigarette smoker / beer drinker and their pronouns were they, them? And if you didn't buy them alcohol and tobacco, by God.
I love his little fantasies.
They're going to cancel you. Kiss my ass.
Kids are stupid. Kids will follow trends. Kids will think maybe they are something they're not. But also sometimes kids know themselves better than everybody else. And sometimes you can tell when a kid's just different. And that kid, there should be some sort of path they can get on to reach goals and levels where they're getting the proper care they need if they are officially diagnosed a serious contender for these options, because it does help some people who are going to be trans. They're going to grow up, they're going to be who they are, and you can tell sometimes at a younger age than others. It shouldn't be black and white. It should be very gray, and it shouldn't be very easy to do either. It should be a process. It should be something someone has to labor to do so that they know what they're going through is important, because this is an important thing.
Hey, how are you? Do you want to be interviewed? Let's do it. How many genders are there?
She's hot. She's hot.
I go with 2.
Love it.
So members of LGBTQ say there are only 2 genders. They might get labeled as
he's almost poking himself in the eye with his pipe. I hate it.
Self-hating. And then people who aren't a part of this group say it, and it's like, oh, you're a bigot.
I would do something like that. I'm always putting stuff on my face. I'm always resting my fingers and stuff on my face. I'm always doing things like this. And I would turn over and poke myself in the eye.
You stab yourself in the eye with a pipe.
I would do that. I've done stuff like that before. It's ridiculous, but I've done it.
Genders are there?
As many as there are.
Such a cough-up answer. How many genders?
A lot of these drag queens are very tall compared to Blaire White.
Are there as many as there are?
Do not have that number for anybody, but I'm open for
I met Blaire White in person, and I think me and her were probably about the same height.
Number.
Yeah, she's probably
infinite.
Your height.
Probably, yeah.
How do you feel about the Planet Fitness trans controversy? I'll ask both of you guys that one. The Planet Fitness one.
I'm ready to join.
I didn't hear about it.
What?
I'm ready to join.
Well, what happened? What's the tea?
So Planet Fitness, their slogan is a judgment-free zone. And this is kind of the thing of it. Like, an alleged transgendered woman was caught filming herself shaving her beard inside Planet Fitness women's locker room, and it made a little girl and her mother feel uncomfortable, and Planet Fitness sided with the trans woman, and they lost $400 million in value. Go woke, go broke. And like, what's Planet Fitness supposed to do in that situation? Because it's kind of unfair. If you side with the trans woman, you get labeled a woke retard and they cancel you. If you side with everyone else, you get labeled as a transphobe and then they cancel you. So it's like, I don't care who the fuck you are, you shouldn't be filming anything in the locker room. That's
See, I think it's more offensive that they let homeless people shower in there.
Appropriate.
There was like a man in the women's locker room, and then they sided with the man over the woman.
Yeah, well, she photographed him, and it's against the rules to photograph in the locker room.
He was shaving his beard.
He was shaving his beard in the locker room.
It was a whole man talking about in the women's locker room, and there's like a little girl crying.
I feel like if you're taking pictures of it, like you, even if there's a whole man in the bathroom shaving his beard in the woman's bathroom, maybe take your time, step out until he's done, call a manager and ask the manager to bring you some guidance or something. But taking a picture of someone in a public bathroom is not okay.
Shaving your beard, you should do it in the men's locker room.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're a woman, honestly, you should shave your beard.
Here's a thought. If you don't have boobies and a vagina, you're not going to be thrown into a female prison or be allowed to use the female facilities. This group loves to scream about inclusivity and making
the
they-thems feel comfortable, but when you make everyone else feel uncomfortable, you're told to suck the biggest rainbow dick and get over it. Now, I will acknowledge that LGBTQ has faced a lot of discrimination, but I'm reminded of the book When You Give a Mouse a Cookie. Example, we allow Caitlyn Jenner to identify as a female, and now you got motherfuckers up in here identifying as trees and shit. Like, what?
In the men's locker room, if you're really...
Or you're like laser.
Where's the children's book When You Give a Trans a Urinal? I want to see where that one goes.
Should be allowed to like go on puberty blockers, because those sort of things are like, that's helpful, you know, it's
How is it helpful? Our society is pumping our food full of hormones that are causing minors to hit puberty way too early, and then they come out as trans, and then you give them puberty blockers. That kind of chemical imbalance. Fuck off, dude.
It's reversible.
Yeah, but this is how it's helpful. This is how it's helpful. When you are into T-girls, do you want a T-girl that's like, hey, I'm a pretty lady? Or do you want a T-girl that's like, hey, I'm a pretty lady? That's the difference. The younger they start, the more, hey, I'm a pretty lady you're going to get. And those are the best T-girls. In my opinion.
I like the kind that serve me Earl Grey.
Something.
You don't want to rush into something like, okay, that's rich, so
I like that
screw
too.
the research, right? Screw the scientific research that trans is being made politically popular and that kids just want to be accepted, so they'll gravitate towards the most popular thing. It's ridiculous.
Are you famous or something?
Am I what?
Famous?
Famous is a big word. I guess I'm known.
No, it's not, Blaire. Don't try this now. Say, yes, I am. Tell her your channel. Get her started young. Indoctrinate the children. Do exactly what you're there to say that everybody shouldn't do. Tell her.
Have a nice day.
We're with Blaire White. This is the real...
Oh, it's a video.
This is a video. Look at her. She's looking cute. She's looking just like she does in real life.
Doing the like butt over the shoulder look.
Wow.
How do you guys feel?
I saw this video where Amaranth went to this chiropractor to get an adjustment because her back is messed up from doing that pose so much.
Really?
Yeah. The
Price of progress.
Show my butt but my face in the same time shot. Yeah.
Feel about gender affirming care for minors being banned here in Texas?
She wouldn't
It's like a
have
big
that
thing
issue
here in
if she
Texas
was
right
just
now.
born with
I feel like
scoliosis.
it should just be open for everyone.
How many?
So you think gender affirming care should be open for everyone, including those, Silence of the Lambs types? it puts the lotion on its skin, otherwise it gets the hose again. Piss off.
I don't think we should consider putting fat women in a pit and then stealing their skin for clothing as gender affirming care. I don't think that's okay. There's some gender affirming care we should deny.
You can do way worse things with fat women in a pit than what you just outlined. There's way worse things you can do with fat women in a pit. I mean, it just spells trouble, fat women in a pit.
Like, what else you could do?
Your mic is breaking up, but I'm glad because you probably said some gross stuff about fat women in a pit.
I would never.
Are there? Honey, there are as many genders as stars in the sky.
What the fuck are you people smoking?
All based upon...
Like, you want some of it? Cobes wants some of that.
Infinite.
He'll smoke that shit and he'll be saying Zers all day.
He would actually probably do just about any drug, even the one that makes them that.
Yeah, honestly.
What's that big pit in Star Wars? Is Sarlacc pit?
The Sarlacc pit?
So would you rather have the Sarlacc pit or a pit full of shanties to fall into?
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
That's gross.
Yeah,
the Sarlacc pit would probably be. No, I don't know. The Sarlacc pit, if you know what a Sarlacc does,
it digests
it's a very
you
slow.
Yeah.
It's a very, very slow decomposition. Whereas Shanny, you would probably just have to wipe your ass to victory.
Who knows?
Wipe her ass to victory.
Who knows?
It's a spectrum, right?
I'm saying a pit full of shanties too. By the way.
Yeah.
A whole pit full of them.
I'm just on the autism
hungry.
spectrum.
Okay, girl, me
and
too.
they're looking for love.
So let me tell you.
How do you feel about...
Oh, fuck both of you. If you are not properly diagnosed by a doctor as having autism, you don't get to make that joke. Piss off, dude.
Trans people in sports?
Trans people in sports. I feel like me and my partner were having a conversation about this. Eventually, I just want no male or female sports. Just everyone is going to be running.
It's like everybody's swinging on everybody.
Everyone's swinging on everybody. You know, honestly, like I've seen some women do some crazy. I've seen men get beaten up by some pretty big women. And
so you're on some like equal rights, equal lefts type shit.
I'm an equal right, equal left, and Simone Biles is out here making everybody look bad. Honestly.
Okay, Simone Biles couldn't compete in the male gymnastic events because they're totally different events. And the male gymnastic events are made for upper body strength, and the female ones are made for like lower body strength. That's why they're not the same. Didn't she also
drop out of the Olympics?
That was because she was this year? Maybe she has like mental issues or something.
Well, the last year, yeah. So
she didn't drop out. She ended up doing it.
Good.
Yeah, pretty sure she did.
Is she a man?
Maybe she did retire. I don't remember. Maybe she quit like halfway through or something. I cannot remember.
Man or a woman?
She's a woman. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. So like puberty blockers, hormones, like that's all okay if you're like in the tween age?
As long as it's gone through all the proper channels and I trust my doctors and our scientists.
I like the frill on this woman's attire. Reminds me of like a Gorgeous George, Ric Flair type of ensemble.
Gorgeous George did get a lot of heat because how feminine he was.
Yeah, by design, right?
Yeah.
Puberty blockers are bad for your health and that kids shouldn't be on them, and puberty blockers should be illegal. You gotta trust the science, right?
How many genders are there?
One.
Only one?
No.
Like Jesus?
Jesus gender.
I don't know. There's
25.
as many genders as you want there to be. It doesn't matter.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Another cough-up answer. Okay, let me school this person real quick.
It doesn't matter, though.
Not fucking matter how many genders there are. Then why the fuck are people getting offended when you say there's only 2 genders? Why the fuck is there a law in Scotland that says you can get thrown in jail for misgendering someone? It's this cough-up answer of, I don't want to offend you.
People are getting offended saying there's more than 2 genders, and there's people getting offended saying there's only 2 genders. It doesn't matter unless you want to be getting offended. And if you want to get offended, you'll find a reason to be offended. That's why I try and offend everybody equally.
Like, if If you like it, just do it.
Oh my God, I don't want.
If you like it, just do it. So according to that person, if you like it, just do it. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole, are we? So if you like murdering people, just do it. Go fuck yourself.
That bird just on me.
That doesn't happen.
Oh, it could happen. It happened to my mom.
Oh,
How do you feel about gender-affirming care for minors being banned in Texas? That's obviously like a big topic because we're in Texas.
And I'll disagree with you on that. I don't believe in complete bans. Okay, there should be exceptions, just like in the abortion issue, there should be exceptions. But it should be the exception on the rule. And yeah, they're transitioning kids at the drop of a hat right now. It's pretty ridiculous.
I feel like a midget right now.
Girl, well, I'm a suspiciously large woman.
Sorry, a little
I make
person.
Everyone feel tiny. You're Blaire White, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much for the interview.
Give you a hug.
Yes.
And by the way, my name's Maxine.
These feel real. That felt real.
Well, that's
You don't get a shout out.
silicone, but it's not my silicone.
Oh, it felt like my mom or something. What is the youngest age you guys think that a kid should be able to transition medically?
21 or 25. 21 for a woman, 25 for a male. That's when your brain is done forming.
Ridiculous.
So at that point, I'm gonna let the adult brain decide what.
When you're grown.
Even if you've got trauma, like we can't.
The 25 thing is something a lot of people believe, which isn't necessarily true. It's just like
If you're gonna let a kid like go to the gym and build muscle mass, then they should be able to take hormones to change their functions if they feel like they're gonna want to have a feminine body and they were born male, or vice versa. If you're gonna allow them to do anything to change their body, whether it's bodybuilding, whether it's whatever, it's let them do it. And you know what? If it's a mistake and if they ruin their body, whatever. I ruined my body. People ruin their body all the time. You work from that point of which you ruined it, you come back from it. People ruin their body playing sports. People ruin their body doing all sorts of things. Sometimes they make their body work the way they want to work doing those things too. We're all humans. We're all capable of fucking ourselves up equally.
Everyone's brain develops at a different pace, and our brains are constantly developing. This idea that your brain just magically becomes like completely mature at 25 is just something that gets repeated enough that people just believe it when they hear it. Like there is no magical age where your brain is done developing. It never stops.
If the government's going to say that your brain's not done developing at 25, the government needs to pay for everything in your life until you're 25.
We can't undo everyone's trauma, but at least if we say 21 is when the women's brain.
You can't make everything equal for everyone because fuck sickos, they don't deserve equality. And you cannot fix everyone's trauma because people get traumatized by real shit, and then people are like throwing a fit over the dumbest shit, you know?
And showing it's done. 25 is when a man's brain is showing it's done. Let them make their adult decision.
Shout out to trauma. What do you think?
What's Brooks'
You're old enough to buy a firearm.
Blaire White's answer to this?
I don't think she's going to say.
I want to know what Blaire White thinks, being someone who transitioned. I wonder what age she started transitioning and doing care for transition at, and if she would have liked to have done it earlier.
You're old enough to vote. You're old enough to get cigarettes.
Yeah. When I was 17, 16, and I was on testosterone, and before the law changed, and when they passed that law, I had to completely stop, and so I had to find a whole new doctor in Los Angeles.
Hey, boo.
Oh my God.
What are you doing? Oh my God, you know who I am?
Oh my fucking God.
That's crazy.
Is that Evo?
How are you?
Oh my God. I literally.
This guy fanboys out. Oh my God.
What happened?
Your channel every.
Is it Eugene
really?
Levy?
Stream.
I'm trying to interview people, but everyone knows who I am.
Eugene Levy is like 80 years old.
I am.
No,
Can't tell. I see
I should
the
have got a
eyebrows.
disguise, right?
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Do you have facial blindness?
Just watch the Blaire White podcast.
Yes.
Right being there.
Oh my God, was I being so ignorant in it?
Yes. I don't think you're ignorant. Are you being watched right now by security or something?
I'm surrounded by security guards. I don't know why. Because I'm being.
So Blaire
I'm not even
White,
being mean
in an
anymore.
interview with Alex Jones, said she knew she was trans at 5 years old.
I'm being so nice. Maybe we should ask the security guard.
Like, you are so good. Like, I hated trans people before, like, I started watching your video. I was just like a gay boy, but like, I literally, like, you brought like a new perspective to like.
That's so funny. Imagine I just come up and sit next to you on a bench. Why do you guys think Trump is more supportive of gay marriage than Biden?
Of the what?
Why do you guys think that Trump is more supportive of gay marriage than Biden?
They're all old men. I don't give a what any of them.
He had a gay wedding at his house last month.
Yeah, I mean, like
Whereas Biden said the gays for like 80 years.
I think that there was this post that said something about how Trump is like an old school bigot, whereas Biden's more of like a
When
new
she
school
said
bigot.
Biden said fuck the gays for 80 years, Biden's so old that I had to stop and think if that was a fact. I was like, is that a fact? Oh, she was being hyperbolic. But
Man, after last night, I'm prepared for President Trump again. Like,
dude, there's a lot of talk that they're going to replace Biden after last night.
There's talk.
Run somebody else.
Can they? I mean, is it not too late?
Oh, they can. This is the earliest. I think maybe not the earliest. But this is a very early presidential debate. So they might have pushed it out early to see if he could hang.
Yeah, because the party does technically have to nominate him, but they already had the primaries. Can they just be like, the primaries don't matter? Now we're going to run this person.
He could step down, and if he steps down,
What if he doesn't want to? Is my question.
What if he doesn't? They might force him out.
Can they?
It might be like, hey, remember all that stuff we covered up for you, sicko Biden?
So he definitely doesn't care.
So their primary system literally doesn't matter. We act like it does, but if they can, after the primaries are over, just be like, no, we're going to run this completely different person. Don't be surprised when they use that whenever they want. They kind of did that with Bernie.
Yeah, exactly. I was just going to say that what they did with Bernie was throwing that out the window.
Yeah, but they did it to him during the primaries. The primaries weren't like over yet. They were like, we have these super delegates that are going to vote for Hillary no matter what. So no matter how good Bernie does, he'll never make it. You know, but this is like the primaries are done and Biden won like by so much. Nobody even came close. So this will just demonstrate to everyone that the Democrat primaries are just like a sham. If they do
I wonder if they will slide in Gavin Newsom like people have suggested.
He's a way better choice. Almost anybody's a better choice at this point, but Gavin Newsom is like way younger. You know, what is he, in his 50s or something?
Yeah.
More charismatic at this point. I mean, the people who are going to like him, and of course there's going to be some people that just will not like him. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not that I like him. Not that I like any.
None of these politicians give a fuck about LGBTQ. None of these companies give a shit. All they want is your money and your vote.
Of them.
I love him.
Yeah.
Ulterior motives behind it. Anyways.
I don't know. I just love Trump. How many genders are there?
So many that you can't define it.
Okay, if you can't define what gender is, then why the fuck are we being told I have to respect your gender pronouns, otherwise you're a bigot? If you can't define what gender is, then why the fuck is there a law in Scotland that says if you misgender someone in Scotland, you can get thrown in prison? Mind you, if you misgender a heterosexual...
Well, they have a lot of laws in Scotland that
shit.
shouldn't be there. Like, you can't do car bombings.
Yay, equality.
I don't think there
Those were happening a lot in Ireland.
is
By the
a
border.
limit.
Suddenly we know some man following recording me telling me everyone around him that I'm a conservative.
Oh. Wait, what are we to you? We're conservative commentators?
Commentators. That sounds about right?
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm also trans, though. I have a right to be
She's
here.
transgender.
Nice.
Okay, so are you telling a trans woman she can't have her own opinion?
I am not.
Okay, then what's your problem with her being conservative?
Wait, hold on.
I have no problem.
It's not that you said there's a problem, but you're filming me saying these are conservatives, so it kind of sounds like you have a problem, even if you didn't directly say it. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I'm trans, I can be here. What are you doing?
The straight
It's
people
just
can be
weird.
there too.
If you film people just because they're conservative, that's like some weird shit.
If anybody's gatekeeping Pride, you're on the wrong side of history.
You're on some goofy shit, sir. A grown goofy. Talking about these are conservatives. Okay, so what's the reason you're filming that? Right. Is it like a zoo animal?
Because you're conservative.
These are conservatives.
He doesn't care for you. I don't think anybody running around Pride filming should complain about somebody else running around Pride filming.
It's true.
Now you're just being a stalker, sir. Now you're just stalking.
Are you stalking a trans woman?
Stalker,
sir?
no stalking. Gonna be interviewed for a trans YouTube channel?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh my god, I love it. Are you filming?
Yes, they're not doing this for your best interest.
Yeah, so he's tipping people off so that she can't get an interview in. He's he's throwing some wrenches in her gears, you know?
Yeah, I'm a fan of discussion and conversation, so can't really get behind this guy cucking content.
Wait, why though?
She's talking about why though. Okay, tell me what's up.
How goofy and weird.
He got ignored though.
Why,
Damn it.
It's a public place. We're talking to people.
I know.
Denied.
I'm not
But you're advising them not to engage with us.
Correctamundo.
For what?
You know why.
Correctamundo.
Do you want to be a warrior and just answer a question? Because they're scared for no reason. We're just asking questions about things going on in the community. I'm trans myself. I'm here at Pride like every other trans person here.
Yeah.
How do you feel about gender affirming care for minors being banned here in Texas?
Josh and strolled into wanting girl cock.
I mean, he might not say no, but the odds of it being offered to him are kind of slim, right?
Yeah, I feel like it would take the unicorn of girl cock to win over King Cobra. Blaire White, if Blaire was like, you know what, Cobes, I want to suck it, I would be surprised if Cobes turned it down. He might say he would, but in the moment, I'd be surprised.
What if he was like super wasted?
Oh man, I don't even know if he would regret it. Honestly, he'd be like, next day, dude, I got a blowjob from Blaire White. I was wasted. He was like, I was wasted though, so I still have my standards when I'm sober.
We saw Jessica at the Shadows when he was all wasted. Remember?
God.
Remember the Shadows?
The government should have no say-so in what a parent's decision is for healthcare for their child. Like, that's not up for a political debate.
And see how like we can listen to opinions and like it's just an opinion, it's just a person talking, whereas like they're afraid to like talk or us talk. Do you think Trump
Hell's
or
only
Biden
says it's bullshit by White? It's like how Matt Walsh lied to trans people so to get them in his bullshit documentary. I don't think Blaire's been doing anybody dirty here. I think Blaire has been pretty safe on the conversation. I'm not. Maybe I'm wrong.
She's getting recognized, which is bringing some heat on her.
Yeah, but what is she really doing, right? Like, she's not like you see. What's his name? Crowder go to these things, and he's a real prick.
Yeah, sure.
She's just kind of there, and I think that you should be able to have dissenting opinions around you, or else it makes you weaker if they can't exist around you.
Crowder seems like he's a big guy. If like someone attacked him, maybe he'd fare better than Blaire White. I don't know.
Or supportive of gay marriage, between the two, because Trump was the first president to enter.
Piece of shit. I hope he rots in prison.
That's an opinion, but he was the first president to enter office supporting gay marriage, like in history.
Say that again?
He was the first president to enter office supporting gay marriage. No, it's objectively true.
It's really not. Oh, is that what's happening?
It's true.
Are you trans and
Ew, they're like mentally ill.
supporting Trump?
I didn't read that.
If you are, then
fuck you. You're gonna be on.
Why are they so mad?
And he was like, "You're gonna be on that."
Jesus, I thought it was about pride, good emotions. The fuck.
Good emotions.
What's crazy is, as much as everyone acts like I'm, the villain for asking people's opinion and not even really countering, right? Like I've heard people all day say they support child abuse, and I'm not saying F you. I'm not flipping people off. I'm not flying off the handle. The security won't stop following me.
Yeah.
Why are you still following me? Do you identify as a bully? Hi.
Oh my God.
So why didn't you do anything when the person was screaming you and having to be hauled off by his friend. Only when I ask questions respectfully to everyone? Okay. Hey, boo, what's up?
Hi.
We're being treated kind of badly here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do not engage with the police. Don't engage with.
Look how crazy this person is. This is a fan of mine. Get away from me.
Oh my God, cuff me. I'm a conservative.
Are you following me too?
That was cringe.
Hi, are you following me too? You don't know?
He's causing problems.
How am I causing problems?
You know exactly what you're doing, Blaire White. You're walking into a goddamn pride event where like 98% of these people are in favor of that child sniffing creep Biden. You know what you're doing. It'd be like you walking into a goddamn Christian convention and being like, so y'all support Satan?
Didn't hear that.
But what problems though?
We're antagonizing people, making them upset.
So do you think the person that's...
You notice how Cobra's never clear on which side of the argument he's on? He kind of takes a blended...
Because I don't think Cobra knows what side he's on. He has very, like, stretched out opinions that land on both sides.
It's true.
Be fair, it's not hard to make these snowflakes upset.
It's like respectfully asking questions, people's opinions is the problem, or the people that are screaming, F you.
What have we done that's hindered you? We haven't done anything.
I just told you there was a person who had to be held back by a person screaming, F you, and I'm just asking respectful questions.
Freedom of speech?
I absolutely believe in freedom of speech.
Okay, Blaire White, if you believe in freedom of speech, then they have a right to say fuck you to your face, and you have the right to say what you gotta say, you know?
But you're saying that I'm...
Say that to you.
It absolutely
like nobody
is,
here
but
has to make Blaire White feel welcome.
No,
like that's like it's not like, oh yeah, we're pride, welcome Blaire White, known Trump supporter and dissenter of many trans values that we value.
The line is drawn at assault, but everything else is fair game. You know, like
I think Blaire should be allowed here, and I think everybody should be allowed to make her feel unwelcome.
Security for an event, I just question why you would think the bigger problem is someone asking people's opinions and respecting all opinions over the person that's having to be physically held back and screaming F you in a public place with kids around.
Do you feel unsafe?
I don't feel unsafe at all.
Then why is there any concern?
That's exactly my point. If you're not feeling unsafe, then what's the issue? You believe in freedom of speech. Allegedly, Blaire White's not being a complete cunt about it. All she's doing is just asking questions. And you can't even give the
She's
security
allegedly
guard
not being a big cunt about it.
an answer. Her response is, yeah.
You're fake as fuck.
I didn't hear that.
But you felt it.
Felt what?
You're fake.
I felt what?
You're fake.
The chick with fake.
I saw someone mention Cobra's new setup. He could definitely make this setup way better. I don't know why he's so close to his computer, but he definitely has room to move that chair back. There's a whole guitar, an acoustic guitar behind it. So that could go back further, but it's not only that. He has a big living room in this trailer that he's in. He has a big living room that he could shoot like everything better, but...
Isn't this the room he's allowed to smoke in, or am I wrong about that?
Yes, that's why he's in there. Yeah.
Fake tits is calling the security guard fake for calling her out on her bullshit without being a dick about it. That is priceless. It's as funny as Dylan Mulvaney getting canceled by her own mob.
I'm fake.
If you're fake.
If Blaire White called me fake, I'd say, yeah, but my tit's real.
Hey, because you know in your heart that between two people, one person, hi, what's your opinion on something? Being respectful the whole time, and the other person, F you, oh my God, no, hold me back. That's the problem person, right?
Sure. That is a problem with our society, that we cannot have an adult conversation without people like freaking out or losing their shit. I'll give her that.
Right. But yet you're following me, and the person who did that's probably just off doing.
I'm just keeping an eye on you.
You said you don't know if you're following me, and you're keeping an eye on me. So if
it's security's job to keep the place safe, and if you're making people feel uncomfortable, they're going to keep an eye on you. It's what it is.
And if you're walking around with a camera, people are going to wonder what you're doing. Like you can't walk around with a camera and then not expect to get attention. Sorry.
Your mic's stuttering a little bit.
Go to a fucking event with your own people and it's doing this shit.
If I walk over there, you're going to be so fine turning that way and walking that way?
Well, I'm going to continue to keep an eye on you.
That's why I said you're fake.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Being called fake by you?
You're fake. Why? Why?
Well, I think we both know why.
Why?
You know exactly the kind of person that you want.
You guys never say what you feel. Like, you guys love to say, you know.
They can't say what they feel because you're a protected group, Blaire White.
Ah, no, that's not why.
Newsflash, girl, you're trans. That dude doesn't want to lose his job for speaking his opinion. He doesn't want to get canceled by your
No. That's why Blaire White is the best trans. She's the one trans we're allowed to hate.
Yeah, he's very confused. He's very confused.
Ridiculous.
Vague statements of, I know why.
Everyone, please like the stream.
All you have to do is go on Twitter and say, this security guard offended me and this dude will lose his job. So, like, come on, man.
You know what you're doing, but you can't say it because you don't have a reason. Because you're fake as fuck. And you're following me.
If anybody with that much plastic surgery called me fake, there would be a retort. There would
The
be a
chick who
retort.
says she's a chick, but she still has her penis, is calling this dude fake. That is hilarious.
Oh my God. I'm tired. I'm deceased.
Oh, you're tired? I think a lot of us are mentally exhausted by this whole bullshit.
I've been disrespected. But that's okay because I expected that. Or at least a little bit of that. I didn't expect it to be that bad, if I'm being honest. I don't understand the point of, you know, this is a community that is supposed to just be about, you know.
The way I see it, the LGBTQ community should be about pride, love, acceptance, equality, and fuck sickos, and keeping children safe. It's pretty straightforward.
Sexual orientation, gender identity, etc. What part of that is...
Yeah, but this is what pisses me off about gender ideology politics, is that if you can't define what the fuck gender is, but conveniently it offends you when you get misgendered.
Is this the Democrat, woked out, lived out community, or the LGBT community? I'm so confused. Why was I such a problem? Just
You're constantly changing your fucking flag and your acronyms. No one's gonna take you seriously.
Asking questions. And y'all know, I sat there and listened.
And I actually agree with what Blaire White is saying to a point because I get it, you know. I happen to know several people who are part of LGBTQ+, and I watched a couple of gay YouTubers give their 2 cents on it to better educate myself on this issue. And a lot of gay people would agree with me on my straight ass on this crap, you know what I'm saying? And I know what the fuck the burner text numbers are gonna say as soon as I post this video. Fuck them, my trolls are predictable.
To many people say things that I wholeheartedly disagree with. Child transition, ew. Sick. Wrong.
I agree with you.
And yet I let people say what they had to say. Did I even give my opinion one time in this video? I didn't, right? I didn't give my opinion one time.
No, I want to know it. I asked
And yet
for it.
I was antagonizing people, so much so that I had to be followed by security. The musty, nasty security. They smelled. You can probably smell it through the screen. I'm sure that was already, you know, something y'all knew. It was just ratchet. It was not cute. My cameraman said they got some pretty demented footage of like a drag queen and a child. I'll have to look that over. The state of the community is just sad. Like,
nope, and I agree with you on that, Blaire White. As a straight ally, 1000% agree with you. If you're at a pride event,
Cobra a straight
nobody
ally?
wants to see your private parts. If gay couples would
Oh, he's
lose
an
their
ally to the
shit
gays,
if a
that's a straight man,
heterosexual couple
not an ally to the
expose
straights.
themselves to their adopted children, why do it to someone else? At the end of the day, it comes down to one thing, the golden rule, treat others the way you want to be treated.
if this is a community about openness, acceptance.
You got grown ass adults with anywhere from like nothing to like barely a thong, and it's like, bruh. First of all, you can teach your kids to be.
Blaire White wants to talk about being a community about being open, a community of openness. Blaire White is this rare condition where everybody in her party says she's one of the good ones, and everybody in the other party says she's one of the bad ones.
That is quite a term, one of the good ones.
Be tolerant of LGBTQ without forcing it down their throat like you do to the adults. You cannot force acceptance or tolerance. You just can't. And it's unfair because, yeah, there are some dickheads out there who are incredibly homophobic and shit. And that's the thing. If you focus on all the woke assholes who say this dumb shit, it just gives LGBTQ+ a bad name. Case in point, like the asshole in Scotland who raped 4 to 5 women shows up to court dressed in drag, says he's trans, and demands to be thrown into a female prison. The judge in that case could have been like, that's not how prison time works. If you rape women, we're not going to throw you into a women's prison, period. And it's like, oh, I know, do trans people need any more negative publicity? No. The dude lasted 1 week before repeating his offense. Shocker, want to sniff it? No. And
Dude, what's going on in Scotland?
Comments on it, and she's immediately...
Cobes knows because, you know,
labeled as transphobic,
he's part Scottish.
which is so redundant.
I thought you were going to say it's because Scotch is better at 12 years old.
And it's like the liberal left's favorite word to throw out. If you identify as a woman, then you're a woman, correct? That's just the inclusive language that you want everyone else to use. But if you use words like breastfeeding, it's gender inclusive. You can't define what gender is, but we better respect your gender and how you see things. LGB has had to face a lot of discrimination, and this bullshit doesn't help. There was a gay
I like Honest Red's response. Honest Red says, well, there are plenty of gay rapists in men's prison. That's so fucked.
YouTuber I was watching reacting to a random trans person's TikTok video, and the trans person said if you reject their dating advances or you don't find trans people attractive, then you're automatically transphobic. And the gay dude said that just because straight people don't find him attractive doesn't mean that they're phobic in the homo sense, and to get off your high horse. But when you let the sickos and the extremists and the woke...
They're not phobic in the homo sense. They might be arachnophobic.
Your own
I think most people have a fear of spiders.
Wonder why no one takes you seriously. Screaming about equality, but you don't want to hear a contradicting opinion other than your own. That's what it is. And a lot of people are getting sick and tired of all this bullshit on both sides. People need to be nicer to each other and fuck sickos.
It's like, I don't know, I just can't relate. Like, no part of me, when they were sitting there saying they were riding with Biden, right? No part of me wanted to rage and say, F you. It was the other way around. And I think there's something really to be said about that, right? So I guess in conclusion,
did anybody there really say they like Biden?
No, not in the video that we watched.
No, being woke is not a bad thing. It's good to be informed on certain issues. But people are sick and tired of woke culture because we're sick and tired of being talked down to and preached at. Like, it's good to have good ethics and be a good person, but when it's constantly being shoved in your face, people are sick of it. People are sick of it. There's your fucking video response. How long is this shit?
I like how he spells it with a C. Long enough, and that's how he ends it. He has no definable ending. It's just whenever he hits the record button to stop the recording.
Long enough?
Yeah, long enough. So, in a couple minutes here, we're gonna do our Patreon private show. It's Actual Mania. Mania 57, our main event. Captain Cool AIDS, who is he's so many things. He's a rapper, but he was involved in something concerning the CIA and Freddie Mercury. Something like he'll be facing Party Tub, who's a guy that wears a singlet and a luchador mask, and he falls through tables and other obstacles. That's the main event. We're also gonna have our undercard is Egghead versus Rat Lord, and then we're gonna have Big Diesel versus High Priestess.
Ooh.
And we have a few themed matches. We have I think you said it was the Genesis Cup or the Genesis.
The Genesis Cup.
Yeah, the Genesis Cup. Two sickos head-to-head, EDP versus Dr. Disrespect.
For the Genesis Cup.
And then our opener is going to be Andrew Tate versus Boogie 2988.
Boogie 2988. I don't know if you guys have seen, he's recently under fire for a crypto scam, and his new character, Andrew Cake, has been promoting it.
Andrew Cake.
Andrew Cake versus Andrew Tate.
Andrew Cake versus Andrew Tate. Wow.
Yes.
So brilliant.
Boogie 298 Tate.
All right. So right now, I'm going to give everyone an opportunity. Please sign up for our Patreon. It's linked right there at the top of the chat. You get a vote in every competition. And you can also go back and binge watch the back catalog that we have up there, too. There's a whole bunch of content.
Yeah, $5 or above gets you in tonight. Follow us over. Don't spend your Friday night going out and partying. Nobody needs to get laid on a Friday night. Nobody needs to drink. You need to sit at home, watch actual Mania, and maybe jerk off.
You can drink.
He told you not to invest in his crypto. He's the most honest crypto scammer.
Crypto scammer.
Yeah.
Will Egghead quit tonight?
Dude, I hope Egghead quits every night. If there are 365 days in a year, I want 365 quits from Egghead.
Pete quit from Egghead. Yeah, it's $5 It's $5 on Patreon. Link there. You can use PayPal or whatever. Any payment source works. It helps support the show. It keeps the show going. We really need your support right now. So if you're out there, and we do this extra content every month, and if you're at that tier level, you can go back as far as you want, several years worth of content on there. So people binge watch it because I can see people, like the posts from back in the day. I get a notification when it happens. I'm sorry, what were you saying, Billy?
The best thing about tonight is that your participation at $5 and above allows you to vote and make choices. And you can change the condition of future episodes by being a part of the live audience.
Yep. It gives you a lot of power, a lot of control.
Yeah, I know a lot of you weak motherfuckers are do-nothing shitheads that can't have any power. Well, tonight, you can make Egghead literally scream.
Yeah. I mean, Egghead is in one of the matches, so.
I'm kidding. You guys are all very strong. Put up with me.
Yes. So we're going to go do this now, so it's not too late to sign up. We will see you there. Bye.
Bye.
In the beginning, there was nothing, and then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants. From the strangest corners of the internet, gonna get TP'd by Billy and Ben. You know where you can find them at. Get ready, cause they're gonna kick your... Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants.